Lieutenant Colonel Dan Bobbitt was praised today as a tested war commander. Bobbitt died yesterday, but not in battle. He was killed in a vehicle rollover during a training exercise. And while comrades mourn his passing, the Canadian military is investigating what went wrong. Briar Stewart has the details.
It is the largest exercise for the Canadian forces this year, and it was suddenly halted when a battlefield scenario became all too real.
The lav navigating through was in some terrain in the training area, and it appears that it just rolled over on its side.
Lieutenant Colonel Dan Bobbitt was killed and 4 other soldiers were injured. Bobbitt was commanding officer for the 2nd Regiment Royal Canadian Horse Artillery in Petawawa, Ontario.
Lieutenant Colonel Bobbitt was a leader we all aspire to be. He was humble, compassionate, personable, firm but fair, and a war-tested commander.
Bobbitt did 2 tours in Bosnia and 1 in Afghanistan. He was leading his regiment during the exercise, a simulation which this former soldier says needs to be as realistic as possible.
The risks are always put into the training exercises, and safety is paramount with armed forces. But you also have to train for the realism for it so that they get a good feel of what they're training for.
This afternoon, the exercise resumed here at Wainwright for the 5,000 troops involved. The military investigators are still trying to piece together just why this light armored vehicle rolled. Since the Canadian Forces began using LAV-3s, there have been at least 1 dozen rollovers and at least 5 soldiers have been killed. The LAV-3s were used extensively in Afghanistan. The vehicles have been praised for their level of protection and speed. They're now being upgraded with improvements to the armor, suspension and weapon systems, but they're considered to be top-heavy. There's a large mounted turret and an open hatch. As a commander, this is likely where Bobbitt was stationed. It's a prime spot to survey the area, but it's also a very vulnerable one if the vehicle rolls. Briar Stewart, CBC News, Wainwright, Alberta.